Hey everybody, I'm glad you're joining me again. There's a couple of things I want to talk to you about that I think you're going to find useful, and that's the whole point of visiting with you here. I do want to tell you this. This has been kind of a strange last few days. You know, just like you, like most of you, I've got a regular job, a regular full-time job doing stuff to earn money to feed my family. But at the place where I work, on Friday, today is Tuesday, so on Friday, just a few days ago, 4 days ago, our managers came through and laid off 20 employees where I work full-time. It was a tough day Friday. Fortunately, I wasn't let go, and I'm very glad about that. But for those of us who remain, you should know that it's a small workplace, and it is a small company, and the people are very close and know each other, and lots of people have been there a very long time. So to see 20 of them just get released, let go very quickly like that, it was pretty traumatic. Didn't enjoy my weekend very much. I spent a lot of time thinking about it, and frankly, when the axe falls that close to you, it kind of wakes you up. For those who were let go, I just want to say I know it's tough. I've had it happen to me before a number of times, and it raises a lot of questions and makes a lot of hardship. So I understand that, and we understand that, and we hope that you'll be back in the saddle very soon. Look, we know that things economically don't look very good, but there is always hope, and that's the kind of thing that we have to hold on to. I will also confess to you that on the way to work early in the morning, I was kind of afraid. I had a few rough moments. I managed to find some very good Bible verses that helped me to feel better about the situation and reinvigorated me. And if you'd like to know what they are, I'll include them at the very end of this video. Yes, I pay very close attention to Scripture, and it is a very profound, powerful thing if you delve into it. All right, let's talk about what I think is kind of the main topic today, and I'll simply call it the Odyssey. The Odyssey, to me, is our lives. It's you and me and the things that we're learning now, the things that we're understanding now, and the things that we're finally starting to make sense. You know, most of us are adults. We've been around for a while, and yet we're just now learning about some of the most important things in the world. All right, here's what I mean. College was good for me because I met nice people, I met good people. I learned some things about literature and, you know, the theoretical side of how life should be. But, you know, nothing about the economy, really. Nothing about finances, not really. Nothing about politics and how politics really works, or even how people really behave, you know, in the workplace. All of those things, you don't learn that in school. And it's becoming very clear. If you're like me, your most recent part of the Odyssey has been the last 4 or 5 years, or the last year or so, where you've taught yourself what the economy really is about, and what really happens on the stock market, and you know, how all of these systems are interrelated. That's stuff that we're just now getting to learn, some of us, you know. So I think as we are on this part of our Odyssey, we need to keep educating ourselves. That much is clear. We need to keep learning all that we can. This situation is getting really dicey, you know that? And for people like you who have already, you know, taken up the mantle and started educating yourself, you're going to have a lot more understanding than the people who think that college degree is going to get them over. And I'm going to tell you something else. I know this will sound mean, and I don't intend it to, but I don't care where you went to college. I don't care where you went to school. If you weren't taught the basics of how politics really works, about who's really in charge of what's going on in this world and what's going on in this country, if you don't really understand what the dollar is and what it's likely to become, you weren't educated very well. It's not about schooling, it's about education. And for people like you and me now, we're going to have to help educate our loved ones and our children, because the schools, the private schools, the colleges, the universities, They're not talking about what's really going on, so we're going to have to do that. Along those lines, I'll move this conversation along, but along those lines, a friend of mine that I respect a lot, a man named Dennis, showed me a really grim but important website, and here it is. It's called Forbes Layoff Tracker. Forbes Layoff Tracker. It's kind of a weird looking URL. So just go to Google and put Forbes Layoff Tracker, and it'll give you this really heinous looking page. Here's what it does. Forbes Layoff Tracker tells you how many people have been laid off, the number of layoffs since November of last year, since November 1st of 2008. And as we speak today, on January the 27th, there have been 337,625 layoffs. The layoffs for today include include a cabinet company called Marilat. They laid off 20% of their workforce, go down a little bit. Yesterday, on Monday, Texas Instruments fired 3,400 people. IBM fired 2,800 people. Lincoln National fired 5% of their workforce. Caterpillar, the guys who make the bulldozers, the earth movers, the big industrial machines, they laid off 20,000 people. Y'all listen, if this was just a matter of, what we call the mom and pop companies, if this was just a matter of them, going out of business or closing, you sort of understand that. When the big businesses, the big corporations, the so-called pillars of industry are laying off tens of thousands of people, your economy is headed in one direction, and that is down. So don't let people get in your face and tell you everything's going to be fine, the recovery's right around the corner. That's not really true. And since that's not really true, that means that you and I have to take care of ourselves and make sure we're going to come out of all this okay. Okay? Anyway, it's called Forbes Layoff Tracker. There's also another horrible thing that Forbes has. They have Forbes list of fastest dying cities. Yes. Anyway, look, here's their top 10. Forbes list of fastest dying cities. Canton, Ohio, followed by Youngstown, Ohio, then Flint, Michigan, Scranton, Pennsylvania, Dayton, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. Ohio's taking it on the chin. Springfield, Massachusetts, Buffalo, New York, Detroit, Michigan, and Charleston, West Virginia. Forbes list of 10 fastest dying cities, and of course that has to do with the whole industrial core of America just going down the crapper right now. There are some big changes ahead, and another word for that is upheaval. So get yourself ready for that. Continue reading, continue to educate yourself, and kind of poll your friends and those who are close to you. If they're ready to talk about what's coming up with the economy, they may be ready to talk about the underlying causes. Okay? Now, we know this is a huge topic, but it has to do with the government behind the government, who's really in charge, what's really planned for the currency, those kinds of things. They're big topics. They take a long time to talk about, but now might be a good time to just sort of prick your friends or your family and see if they want to talk about those things. Again, my heart goes out to those that I know who have lost their employment. If that includes you, then hey, I know where you're coming from. Hang in there. Be strong. Like I said, I got a little bit of inspiration for you coming up in just a second. I will look forward to talking with you again. Keep doing it. Keep working on it. Keep prepping for survival. We're going to come out of this okay. We've got to use our hearts. We've got to use our heads, and put all of our efforts and all our attention to doing good work for ourselves and those we care about. I will see you next time.